Recording. Hello, everybody. We are here with Sherry Edmondson with Allstate and Miss Robbie, who works in the office with Sherry, who is also a licensed provider with Allstate Insurance Agency. And we are so happy to be here. Sherry and Robbie, thank you so much. I know we kind of hit it off at a chamber event, Robbie, when we were talking about things that Nelson Eldercare does, one of them being probate, Medicare spending down when you have to figure out how you're going to afford to have nursing care or skilled nursing. And you shared with me about your husband's grandmother. Can you share with me just a little bit about that? Because that's kind of how we connected, and we found out that we are similar in heart and similar in what we do and how we go about our business. So if you'll share with me a little bit about that, and Sherry, after, I'd like for you to share with me a little bit about your life right now and things going on with your family. So go ahead, tell us what you shared with me.
Absolutely. I've been a part of the family for 25 years now. So when my husband's grandmother passed away and she had to be put into assisted living, we found it very difficult because we found her whole estate being subject to the government, and everything that they had acquired, all of the family land being up for sale, and we had to pay for her living expenses for the 5 years that she was in the nursing home. And so the family land that was held near and dear to our hearts, we had to look at paying for that care in which she had received during that time. And so, hindsight's always 2020, but looking back, I wish that as a family we had done more to prepare for the future, because ultimately we're, all aging and we're all going to need some type of care. So it is, we really found the connection because it's very important to make those arrangements on the front end rather than the back end. And, being in the insurance industry, we have the opportunity to talk to families and to connect with them. And so it is just really my passion to help educate people, to make sure that they are properly insured and to make the proper provisions, whether it be, long-term care or what have you, so that they are not put in the position whereas, as grandchildren, we were taking money out of our retirement accounts to save the family land. And so that was just, very hard for our family as a whole, because the family land had been in the family for generations. And so we just, it was some tough decisions and tough times when you, sit down at, Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner and have the tough conversations with your family.
Yeah, so that's the message that I think we all three want to get through to everyone today, is have the hard conversations. So thankfully your situation ended up working itself out and you were able to keep the land, but for a very small loophole, thankfully worked out. But unfortunately for so many people, it doesn't work out that way. And then for Sherry, I know you have a very different situation going on with your life, with your mom, and then and share too a little bit. Just share with me what you did about your dad, because I know so many of us, mostly in the South, grow up with that strong-willed, hardworking dad. So share with us a little about him, and then tell us about your mom too.
Well, sure. So we'll just start with my dad.
Yep.
Okay, because my dad, his whole life was work, right? I mean, he identified with with work and providing, and he was never sick a day in his life. So the last 3 years of his life, he was sick. He was not a good patient. He didn't have any idea. He had no coping skills at all about how to be a patient, or how not to get up and go to work, or how not to, feel good and let others help him. He was not about that at all. So the last 3 years of his life, when I'd say, the first year he was pretty strong. He tried to put on a good face, because at that point he still had hopes of being able to go back to work and be the provider. But the last couple of years, when it certainly manifested itself in that he couldn't be that person, it was just a kind of a slow decline,
Right.
And depression, and it was just really, really hard to watch.
I can imagine. I'm sure many of us have similar situations, which does not take away from anything that you experienced. It's just that I think when we can have conversations with others and open our hearts to other people, we can find similar ground and help one another out. And I feel like that's what we found here. And I feel like you sharing about your dad. I know other people will identify with that. I know I do myself. And then now you have your mom. And so your dad unfortunately passed away, correct? So then now you've got your mom. And so that's always a dilemma when you have one parent pass away. Now you have your other parent that is in their own grieving state and possibly has medical issues.
Right, so my mom has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's for years. And her and my dad actually have been divorced for years. So my dad, fortunately with my dad, his wife was able to take care of a lot of things. So she was more prepared, having all his affairs in order and doing the research. My mom, however, has a whole different story. And so I'd say one of the hardest things, with my mom was having to step up and make some hard calls.
Right.
And her not appreciating that at all. That's such a difficult place to be.
You're now the mom role, and she's the daughter role.
Right.
Almost like your roles are reversed.
That's exactly right. And when those roles reverse, that is a difficult transition. So I fully understand and sympathize with anybody that's in that particular spot right now, because the parents get angry. They get upset and they don't understand why am I not able to drive? And why won't you give me the keys? I can drive. I know how to.
Right.
I have been driving for years.
Yes.
And they tend to get angry with you. So that was very difficult, a very difficult thing to do. And where we're at today, we're past that.
Right.
Where now she can still dress herself and of course she can walk back and forth. She plays with the dogs, but we take care of everything. Her medication, she lives with us.
She lives with you.
She lives with us, right? So her medication, her meals, her transportation, to and from places, and that, and being a business owner, and also married, and it is
Lots of balls in the air at the same time.
There are a lot of balls in the air, and it's just hard. It's just hard. It's a hard place to be. So I guess one thing that I'd like to share is that we understand and sympathize, but we are strong advocates for not being blindsided by things.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So it is like with my mom. I know it is not if she passes away. It is when. It's coming. We all have that date,
Right.
and I want to.
Some of us don't think we do though.
I know
It's hard.
If you ask my mom, she will be living forever.
Yep.
She's still got her mind about you enough to say that.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be around a much longer time, even though she doesn't know how old she is.
Good for her. That's kind of it's kind of a good place to be sometimes.
Well, you gotta find the happy.
Right. Yes.
The things that bring you joy, and so that always makes me happy because she's never told her real age, and still to this day she will not.
Southern lady, again, I'm sure that's another trait that we all have, is just keeping our age a secret. And I know one of the main messages we wanted to get across, number one, is that we are similar in heart and the way we do business. So that's why we're here today. We want to share with people that Sherry Edmondson, Allstate Group, tell us really quickly, you are located where?
So my office is on Highway 20 in Canton.
Okay.
Right across from the River Green subdivision. And we've been open since June 2011.
Oh, wow, good. Wow, you've been open for a long time.
Yeah.
So that's great. And tell me a little bit, you or Robbie, either one, tell me a little bit about what makes you different, or what do you hold at high esteem that you do really great, or that you feel like you have the cornerstone on it in the market? Because there are many Allstate agents out there and other insurance companies. So what do you think you guys do the best?
So for me, as the agency owner, I love having several different personalities in the office because we all have different stories and we all have different passions. So for me, I like making sure that our customers don't get blindsided
Okay.
by the different perils and risks that we all face
Right.
in life. So I feel like my job as the owner is to educate the consumer, which means my employees also carry that and educate the consumers. Robbie has a great heart for life insurance.
Okay.
You want to
Yeah,
share
tell me a little bit about that and how do you speak to people? How do you bring up the conversation? Because that's, again, a conversation people don't want to have. So how do you do that?
Once again, I mean, it's just having those tough conversations that, none of us really want to talk about, but that day is coming for all of us. And, I think we're different. I mean, our team, we've got over 60 years of combined experience
Wow.
within our office. And so we just have a great team, and we make the difference because we truly have a heart and a passion for the person and their individual circumstances. So, wherever they're at in life, we can connect with them and really just, talk to them and help them to protect and, against those risks and just make sure that they're well insured and taken care of.
I love that you said we are the difference makers. I think that is so, people want to say, oh, we have the cheapest rates or we have this, that, and the other, but you have that intangible
Yes.
that is, like you said, like we are sharing our hearts, opening up to people and then not being blindsided. So seeing things that maybe your clients wouldn't normally see, but you being the expert in your field, you can warn them ahead of time. So you think you want this, but you probably really want to do this because I've seen someone in your situation before and it does, insurance is complicated. And so.
Right, and our conversations with our customers about the, not getting blindsided, we really help them understand that insurance is just a way to manage risk.
Right.
Everybody's risk tolerance is different.
Right.
But insurance will not eliminate risk from your life, and it is not the answer to everything.
Okay.
Right? There are other avenues that where it makes more sense, like elder care. Right? Like taking care of parents, right? That you need a very knowledgeable and experienced attorney to oftentimes to assist with that. So if they haven't thought that through, we certainly will bring it up and help them understand that we can help you some with insurance and protecting assets and that type of thing, but you really you need to talk to an estate planner or an attorney and help keep this in order to keep it really solidly secure and protected.
Right. And we couldn't go today without bringing up the C word, COVID. So what has your business been affected, or how have you guys handled this?
Well, I actually had a customer pass away from COVID in the very beginning, and I was thankful that I'd had the tough conversations with her, and that her family was able to give her the proper burial that she deserved. But had we not had those conversations, she wouldn't have had the protection in place that ultimately they needed as a family. And so I am thankful, for every person that walks in our door, that we have the opportunity to share with them and to help them.
Right. And that's something, when you talk about long-term care insurance or just insurance itself, so many people do not have insurance at all. And we partner a lot with the funeral homes around here. We talk about pre-planning and doing those things to make your loved ones just more comfortable whenever you are called home. And that is something that we have a lot in common, because you have to hold yourself accountable to at least mention it to people that call in, because you don't want to be the phone call that when the widow calls in and says, what do I have here? And you have to, in your mind, say, I didn't even talk to them. You don't want to be that one. And we're the same way. So whenever we have people come in here, we have our free 1-hour consult, but they'll come in and sit down and talk. And I feel so much better, even if they don't sign up, at least they're armed with the knowledge.
Yes.
They have the knowledge. What they choose to do with it after that is a completely personal decision. Just like with you, you give the knowledge. You can't make anybody do anything, but I do feel like we are charged with at least giving that knowledge out.
Yes.
So that's good stuff. And with COVID, have you had anybody call in with any kind of strange, like any kind of situational things that you've been able to help with, or has it kind of been smooth sailing? And besides the one person that passed away, have you had any other kind of silly or different kind of things you've had to
So
deal with?
certainly, yeah, COVID's been, the 2-week flatten the curve thing has
Ooh, yeah.
certainly expanded out to many, many months. And so there's a lot of folks out of work right now.
Mhm.
And the state of Georgia says you gotta carry insurance on your automobiles,
Yeah,
right? So when money is tight.
mhm,
And so, I mean, it happens with people even when COVID's not in place, but it's even more prevalent now. When money is tight, our recommendation is to cost.
okay.
And let's take a review of your policies.
Okay.
So you're not driving. If you're not working, you're not driving as much. So maybe we could increase those
Great
deductibles
idea.
and save you a little bit of
Yeah.
money.
Let me, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Ironically enough, a loud car went by while you were talking about auto insurance. And I know it's gonna get picked up. Do you mind asking that again, starting with your question, and then just go straight into the auto insurance? I think that's a great point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Um,
Whenever you're ready.
So have you seen any kind of strange situations, or what would your recommendation be to people right now? Maybe they're having some financial issues and they're really looking at their bills right now.
Absolutely right. And we do see that a good bit with COVID, especially going on. So one thing, a lot of people are losing their jobs. So that is the reason they don't have the money. So as an insurance agent, then you want to have that conversation with them. How are you using your car? Maybe instead of driving 35 miles one way to work, you're not driving at all. You're working from home. So
Right.
that in itself right there could generate a lower price for you. Or maybe since you're working from home and you're not driving the car every day, you do feel comfortable increasing those collision deductibles so that that saves you money as well
Okay.
during this time. So it's always recommend having conversations with your agent, at least once a year, even when COVID's not here, just
Right.
because things change.
But that's another great segue into relationships. So that's all our business is about, and that has to be what yours is about too. So
Absolutely.
people feel comfortable calling and saying, Robbie, listen, I haven't worked. What can we do here? I know I've got to keep coverage, but what can we do here? And so that's great that you understand when someone's hurting or when someone just really needs to be much more budget friendly with their auto, with their home, boat, whatever it may be, or even life insurance. I know there's so many types of life insurances out there that maybe people now, they know they really want to get it, the life insurance, but they are on a very tight budget. But maybe because of a lot of fear associated with things going on right now. So I'm sure you talk to people about all different types of life insurance, that it doesn't always have to be the $1 million policy.
Yes,
It can be a much smaller policy. So that would be a great thing for people out there to think about right now, is to don't always assume it's going to be something very expensive, right?
Right. There are a lot of policies that for smaller amounts that are very budget friendly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And maybe even, a term policy for the short term until we can get over COVID and get back to work.
a great idea.
And, things kind of stable out in the world.
Yeah.
COVID.
Let's say
Yes.
please.
Thank you, Jesus.
I know. I say that multiple times a day. I get through the day, and the first thing I walk in the door and say, Jesus. Yes, so I understand. And I just, is there anything else that you would like to share? I know we're going to definitely put your information out there, your location. Would you give your phone number and a good email address, and say, in case someone's watching, and would just love to just shoot you an email or give you a quick call. Maybe they like their policies to be reviewed and see if they can save money. Maybe there was someone else and they love to give you guys a shot at getting more budget friendly options.
Well, sure. So if you have internet access, you can find us, Sherry Edmondson, Allstate Agency in Canton, Georgia. And Edmondson is EDMONDSON. And then our phone number at the office is 678-493-7952. You can get my email straight off the website. Robbie, you want to give them yours?
And my email is robbie.cooper@allstate.com.
ROBBIE.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I so appreciate you guys coming in today and taking time out. I know you're busy. Everybody's running around with a holiday season, but I implore everyone that's watching to give Sherry or Robbie a call if you have some ideas about being more creative with more budget-friendly options, or maybe you've thought about long-term care or insurance in general, life insurance, and you've never really had a conversation. I encourage you to have those difficult conversations, and I know.
Right, we talked about that earlier.
Yes.
That, now during the holidays especially, is a great time to talk to parents, family members, about where do you have the information about banking accounts?
Right.
Who carries your insurance on the car? Where's your life insurance? Do you have retirement products? Who's your doctor?
Right.
What is your doctor's name and number? So if you need something to document all that type of information in, I know you guys have a planner that's available, and we also have like a small booklet that really focuses on military discharge papers.
Oh, wow, okay.
Or banking statements, and who is the attorney to go to for the will, where all that stuff is kept and documented. So now's a good time.
And that is a great point, because like we shared earlier, so many people think, oh, let's put it in a safety deposit box, but who has the key?
Right.
Yeah.
And how am I gonna get to that in a state of emergency with a family member, or if it's after hours for the bank, or wherever that information
Right.
is?
It is so important to know, especially who has the life insurance, because the insurance company, unless they're notified that there's been a death, they don't know that you
Right.
that you need to collect in order to pay final expenses or burial expenses.
And the last point I'd like to make, and no one likes to think about this, but specifically in your mother's situation, when you get cognitive disease, or if you are cognitively impaired in any way, meaning maybe you have a bad car wreck, maybe you have a stroke, if your loved ones do not know about things, at that point, they're not going to know, because like your mother, she has memory issues. So she doesn't remember what insurance she may or may not have. So while everybody is of sound mind, it would be wonderful just to document that information, no matter where it is, document that information. If that's the least you do, because at least then it'll give your loved ones a little bit of equipment after the fact, not to have to do one more thing or one more challenge, once you pass, or if there's a medical emergency.
Yeah, and I'd like to just say too that if you're helping your parents, if you're involved with helping your parents, and you're seeing what a difficult time it is to locate things, or to be able to assist, then it's not too early to start right now documenting that stuff for your children.
Yeah.
So that the more you are in the habit of doing that, then the easier it will be, when your time comes. And Alzheimer's runs in my family.
Yeah.
So I know I need to be very aware
Right.
of that, and make sure that my son doesn't end up having to do the same things that I'm doing.
Right.
So you know your family's medical history. So especially if you have something like that runs in your family. Yeah, look out for your kids.
Yes. That is such great information. And again, I'm so appreciative for you guys. I look forward to all of our future alliance with each other and partnering. And I just thank you so much. And thank you all for watching. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us here at Nelson Elder Care Law, or to Sherry Edmondson, Allstate in Canton, Georgia. Thank you so much.
Thank you.